remove about 1/3 of the pages from this book, and I'm just gonna brush over the silver lettering. I'm coming back in with a sponge brush and some gray paint. I'm adding one final touch. I can slide my router right inside. This was such a simple hack.
Decide where we're gonna put our bowls. Mark it up here. You can go ahead and make your marks. And we're just gonna draw our circle. Put a hole close to the edge. I will get this spray painted. What we're going to be using is this really cool reusable stencil. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel like we have our answer.
The work table in my office has a lot of space underneath for storage, but it is really ugly to look at. So I'm measuring the front of the desk, height and width. I'm laying out the foam board and I'm going to cut it down. I'm using clear packing tape on both sides of the seams for a really strong hold. Now I want to cover the front of this large piece with marble shelf liner. I'm leaving a bit of an overlap. Slowly pull the backing off the sticky shelf liner. I want to use some Velcro. Now I have a clean looking desk.
I've got an area on the side of my house that is just ugly with an old hose. Take the handles and put some tape over, and you're just going to poke through where the screws go in the handles. Peel the tape off, and you can then transport the tape onto the side of the planter. This is where you're going to drill the holes. Drill your holes, and then you can pop the screws through. Use your hand to tighten them first. Once we got these holes drilled, turn it back over, and we're going to use some succulent potting soil. Transplant your succulents where we're going to hide the hose. We need to drill a hole about halfway up. Put some wood in there. That's going to hold this lid up. Get that garden hose through. Pull it all the way through, and look at that. Go ahead and put your succulent tray right on top.
Go to your local dollar store and grab a few glass candle holders. Take off any stickers that are on these jars, and go and wash the jars. Take your lids outside and spray paint them. Let these dry and move on to the glass candle holders. Mix up some 5-minute epoxy. Dip your knob into it and center it onto the painted lid. Move on to the candle holders. Dip it and center it on the jar. You can really put anything into these that you want to. Some Q-tips, smaller hair ties, and also cotton rounds. These apothecary jars will help you organize your bathroom items and look really cool.
Grab some decorative trim. Start with your first cut, and then you're going to measure the length of the TV. Give it another 45-degree cut. Once you get all 4 pieces cut, you gotta have glue. Put it right up next to it. Just mark out the holes. Once you pre-drill, the screws go in without a drill. We got to build a box. That way we can cover the sides of the TV. We're going to lay the frame on top. Just a few brad nails to hold it together. Now it's time for some gold paint, a little bit of Velcro on the TV. It just looks amazing.
If you need a place to hide a spare key so you don't get locked out again, I grabbed some spray foam from the store. I practiced spraying the foam in a variety of shapes. I let that dry completely. And then I grabbed some apple barrel burnt umber acrylic paint and painted the entire shapes so that they were completely coated. After that had dried, I grabbed my hot glue gun and glued all of the pieces together. Now I grabbed my spare key and some tape and placed it to the bottom of the spray foam. Now I placed it in my yard for an unexpected way to hide your key.
I grabbed 3 empty soda containers from my home. I wanted to make this space much more organized, measured the dimensions inside. Once I got the table set up, I started using the tension rods to store my ribbon. I got to work on my soda boxes, wrapped the boxes with fabric, applied hot glue with the glue gun, and then at the top, I just tucked it in. I thought these planters looked like a honeycomb. It was time to install the row of hooks that I'd bought. I hung the wire mesh cups, filling my honeycomb with supplies that I wanted to have easily on hand. And here it is. Everything's organized and I have it easily accessible.
You're going to need 2 white cutting boards. Place E6000 on the sides. Place your white cutting boards vertically on either side. Add E6000 glue to 3 sides. Place these 2 cutting boards and then place a dowel through the handles. Your box is ready.
Grab a pack of mesh laundry bags, plastic shower curtain rings, open up a shower ring, and push the plastic knob through a hole towards the top. Now for the bottom of the bag. You will need 3 metal rings, and attach 1 more bag at the bottom. Clip the plastic rings to a bar in your closet. You can really put anything into these bags.
So what I've got here is a pool noodle. So I'm going to take some of the items, mark where the spot is, make a slit, flip the noodle over, picture holder strips, peeling the backing off, press it on the wall. Here they are, all hung up.
Grab a metal cooling rack. You will need 2 screws. Go into your closet and get your rack in a straight line. Mark the corners of the rack. Screw your first screw in. Put your rack onto the screws. Fill your rack with sunglasses.
To start this project, I'm taking a broomstick. I'm taking the handle end off of the broom. I'm using my cotton rope and hot glue gun to tightly wrap around the rope on the entire broomstick. Next, I'm taking 2 crystal knobs for each end of my broomstick. I'm using my ribbon to weave in and out of the baskets. I am securing the ribbon with hot glue. Next, I'm using some clear zip ties to secure the baskets to the broomstick. I'm using a laser level to place and press in to secure them. I'm using these baskets for some of my yarn storage, and it makes for an excellent budget-friendly organization project.
To start this project, you're going to need some trash cans. Get this tag off of your trash can. For these trash cans, I have put on chalkboard stickers. I can add everybody's name, can measure the width and the height, pick out the right command hook and place the hook onto it. It's gonna fit nice and snug.
I have our gloves and our hat stuck together for each family member, and then we place those into the bucket.
So here's a look at them all hung up.
You will need 4 plastic shower rings. Take one ring and loop it into one other. Clip a ring to the handle of your basket. Now bring this basket over to your closet. Clip the plastic ring onto a bar in your closet. My husband has a lot of hats, and this is a perfect storage basket for all of them.
I tied a piece of fishing line to one end of the key. The fishing line makes the line almost invisible to the eye to see. This is our hammock in our backyard, and I removed one of the caps from the end, placed the key inside the pipe, and then left some string hanging outside and replaced the cap. Use decor around your yard to hide a key. Here's a dragonfly lantern, and all I had to do was open it up, place the key inside, and now it's hidden in an inconspicuous place.